Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ep.1 of the King of Jungle podcast. Joe, how do you feel?
I feel fantastic, thank you.
Today's guest is Joe. Is just a good friend of mine. I thought I might as well just start off with a good friend and see where it goes. So, without further ado, subscribe. Okay, so I have some points on my phone here. As you can tell, guys, I'm not very proficient when it comes to podcasts because, I'm new to the stuff. Okay, so just deal with me. So, Joe, give us a bit of a background of your gym story. Yeah, give us an intro.
Right. Well, background gym story. All right. Well, I started.
Or just you in general, I suppose.
Okay.
But like,
I'm an honors student at UCT, and I first started working out probably like for my first athletics tour, which is about grade 4 or something like that. But it wasn't like proper. It was like, your ab workout for like 5 minutes.
do planks
How to get abs in 5 minutes, again. And then about grade 9, I started working out every day.
Oh,
and then I started going to gym just after you started, when you told me, get in here, this is epic.
Oh, yeah. Because I started coming, then a month later, I brought you in there.
And then I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah, I was sick. Yeah, buddy. This is how gym friends are made, people. So if you start going to gym and you enjoy it, just bring your friends.
Exactly.
You won't regret it. I promise you.
Exactly.
You'll just make life so much better.
I have a question.
Yeah.
About the name of your podcast.
The King of the Jungle.
Where did that come from?
That is a very good question. I'm glad you asked me that because it's actually a very good story behind it. So there's a guy, for those of you watching this, you wouldn't know him, but a guy who used to work at the gym. His name was Paul. Do you remember Paul?
I don't remember Paul.
Anyways, he was one of the guys who worked there, right? And he used to encourage me so much. He used to push me every day. I don't know. He was just a really encouraging guy. And every time I'd come there, he would call me the King of the Jungle, and he'd say the gym was my jungle. And because it originally started because I used to have really long hair. I don't think you guys know that, but I used to have really long hair.
Yes.
And then he used to call me Tarzan because of that. And then he would call me the King of the Jungle because I used to rock up at the gym every day, and he would call the gym the jungle, and then he would call me the King of the Jungle. So that's
Great story.
I'm actually proud of that name. Instead of just having something ChatGPT generated, which sometimes happens. So that was a good question. Nice. So good to hear about you. An intro from me, I suppose, because it's my first episode. Even though I have had this channel up. And by the way, I don't know if I'll actually put this on a new channel or on the same channel. I guess we'll find out. Let me know in the comments what channel it's in because I don't know. Anyway, so my name is Kathan. My second name is John. And I've been doing YouTube for about a year now when fitness related. I've been doing things from challenges to educational to absolutely anything fitness related you can think of. Doing 1,000 push-ups in a day and full day of eating and how to fix knee problems. I've just done the full round. I've competed in bodybuilding twice. Both times I didn't deal with a coach. It wasn't that great. I advise you, if you ever compete in bodybuilding, please get a coach. It really does help. But I've been bodybuilding, been training in a bodybuilding aspect for about 2 years. Yeah, because I've been going to gym for just over 2 years, but I started calisthenics. I did calisthenics for almost a year before that. And then it kind of, friend brought me into gym and I was like, I don't like gym, I like calisthenics. And I'm like, and then, it's just, it happens, And
he never stopped bulking since.
Exactly. It's like introducing a new gym bro to chicken and rice. It's not tasty. I don't know. It's just So anyway, so that's me. I'm the guy that rocks up at the gym every day, no matter what happens. And I've been doing that for the past 2 years. So that's pretty much my life. And I'm not studying at the moment. Anything at the moment. I matriculated last year. I am 18 years old. I didn't check my age, by the way. I just checked the time because I just lost track of time. But also I have my notes there. So I'm not being rude if I'm not looking at messages. Don't worry. I'm full attention is here. Same to you guys. But yeah, let's get into some of these questions. Oh, you didn't tell us your age.
My age, 56 years old, and okay. No, I'm 21 years old.
All right.
So I got 3 years on you.
You do have 3 years on me.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. All right. Whoops, wrong image. Excuse me. All right. Oh, also, warning to everyone on the podcast. I did order a dummy battery, meaning that the battery plugs straight into the wall, which means we have constant power. But for some reason, the company I ordered from delivered the wrong type of battery, so it doesn't work. So basically, we're using timed batteries. So I'm going to have to, sometime during the podcast, if it lasts long enough, I'm going to have to change out the battery because it'll run out and then the screen will go black. So I'm just warning you there. When that happens, Joe can just tell you to subscribe over and over again until we get it going.
Nice.
Okay. So question number 1, Mabru, is why did you start and why are you still going?
All right. So originally I started because of you, but before then I was working out at home, so I had weights and stuff, and I started because I was really skinny, basically.
I see.
I was a twig. I was like the same height I am now, imagine that, minus 30 kilos.
Yeah.
Basically. And I just wanted to put on some size, you know. So I started working out and I was like, what's going on? Nothing's changing. And then I started eating and eating and eating. I did a couple bulks and I loved it.
I see.
And
so when I introduced you to the gym, that you were like, yeah, this is my opportunity.
This is my thing.
So,
this is my thing now. Yeah, I was like, this is my thing. On top of that, I was studying. So I was going to be spending a lot of time at like a desk, basically behind a computer. So I was like, okay, what if I was a computer science student, but also like jacked?
Well,
you know, like opposite ends of the spectrum. So my main goal through university was, when I started gymming, was just to be like still really fit and strong while still spending hours and hours studying every day.
Yeah.
And now it's basically like I just want to push my body as much as I can before I don't have enough time to do that anymore.
Yeah, that's a solid reason.
Yeah.
To still keep going. Yeah, aware.
What about you?
Me, okay. I started going because, again, I started working out because I was obviously very self-conscious about my body as well. I wasn't like skinny, but I was skinny, right? And then I started doing calisthenics, and I started seeing results from that, seriously. And like I said earlier, I originally didn't want to go to gym. I was like, I didn't want to be a gym bro. Like, I thought they were like all weird and stuff like that.
I feel like we'd been fed a lot of like
the internet gets fed. Like, if you're one of these people that are just watching this because you're my friend and you're not actually into gym and you just think that all gym bros are the same, they're really not. Like, it's when you actually get into the community, you realize that it's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
What do you perceive from your point of view is not what is reality most of the time. But,
I feel like a lot of different areas, you sort of get influenced as you're growing up by people who don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. Like, we used to get told, oh, whey protein gives you fake muscles. It's not real muscles. And like creatine, that's terrible.
Yeah, 100%.
That's like steroids.
Yeah, literally. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, originally I didn't want to go, and then a friend of mine, I actually went with a friend. His friend took us. So basically a friend's friend that I was friends with. So a friend, but like more like a friend's friend. So I went with the friend who...
For like a day pass? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
So the two of us went with him.
Nice.
And then... Yeah, I mean, like, again, I was like, but like once I got in, I was like, oh, this is quite like a cool space. I like the kind of the look of the gym, the kind of vibe. Started working out, and then I don't have much memory of it, like really enjoying it or really hating it after I finished. Like I don't remember what I felt afterwards. I just somehow ended up the way I am. So clearly I enjoyed it because I must have gone a second time after we went that one time and then just realized, okay, you know what, this is actually just good.
I mean,
the perception I have from it in a calisthenics point of view was very much incorrect.
Yeah, you did some funky stuff at the beginning there, I remember. But by the time you were like not even that long in, like a month or two in, when you were telling me about it, you were already like enjoying it a lot. I remember. Actually,
I do actually have a reason why I think I started to really go to the gym, now that I'm thinking about it, is that with calisthenics I didn't have like really size goals. I did, but like my main goals were to do certain really difficult exercises. And like I was training for them every day, like the front lever and the planche. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but basically I was training for these exercises every single day, and I saw zero progress. And then I went to the gym, I picked up some weights, and I started seeing a lot of like progress. I was like, progress, I like progress, which I wasn't seeing in calisthenics, obviously. Yeah. Because also you don't have much variation with calisthenics. I mean, yes, you do. You can argue you have a lot of variation, but what I was doing, I didn't really have much variation. So I couldn't see the progress directly, which is another reason why it was not really that motivating. And also the back workouts were jolly boring because I didn't have any dumbbells or anything. So my back workouts was I was lying on the floor and I was doing funky stuff where you'd like do that with your arms, and there wouldn't really be any weights involved. And a long time I didn't even have a pull-up bar, so I just had back workouts with literally nothing. So I guess I enjoyed getting stronger and just getting bigger. It's just kind of the progress of it kind of got me hooked, because I was so used to not getting progress that when I finally got it, I was like, whoa, okay, I gotta get some progress now. But I do remember you never used to train legs because you were always worried about your like doing your planche and stuff. I used to be that guy that I didn't want to make the planche harder. So if my legs were bigger, then it would make the planche harder because I'd have to have more weight to lift up from the back. So I didn't train legs at all. But I mean, again, that's like anyone that does calisthenics pretty much. You just don't do legs. Yeah. Okay, what inspires you to keep going? To keep going in the gym? Yeah. Well, it's really every time I hit a new peak, I guess. Like a new, like, okay, this is my prime now, the best I've ever been. Every time I hit a new, like, peak, I'm like, okay, now I need to keep pushing. It sort of motivates me to keep pushing because I know that once I start, like, working and stuff like that, I'm probably not going to have enough time to properly like invest into gym and into my like physique. So I probably have to like transition into some like fitness related sport, you know. So every time I hit that new prime, I'm like, okay, I can still push things a little bit further, a little bit further. I see. So that's sort of like bit of motivation, you know. You see that little bit of progress. Just have those moments when you're feeling like it's slowly getting down. Just make sure to stick with it for like even just a short period of time, and I guarantee you'll see like some sort of difference, and then that'll motivate you to keep going. So if you feel like there's not much progress, it's probably because you're not staying consistent with it enough, and that could be for various reasons, but like I would recommend, if that's in that stage, is just have a period of time, maybe like a month. You're like, okay, this month I'm going to like dedicate a lot of time to this. And then if I don't see results, then I'll give up. And that's valid, because if you don't, then you're really just not actually putting effort into your training, which means you're not actually passionate enough to do anything about it. So you might as well just move on to something else that you are passionate about. Yeah. But I mean, if you go like at least 4 times a week, 4 times a week. And you train hard though. 4 times and you train hard 4 times a week for a month, you're going to see lots of results. I guarantee you that. Well, it's, when we're talking about investing time into it, it's not just training. It's also preparing food and eating the food. Oh, yeah. Guys, I've become a fantastic cook. I'll tell you that. My mom can tell you. Every gym bro. Yeah, my mom just absolutely loves my cooking, which is, I mean... I never thought this as a kid, because I was like, I don't know how the heck to cook. I don't know how my mom does this. Somehow she does it. She'll just like spending some time. Oh my goodness, that's the battery. Oh, that was quick. All right, subscribe to the channel, everybody. Subscribe, and Kathan will do gym ASMR.
subscribe for gym ASMR right now. In between each rep, he'll hold a microphone to his mouth. Oh, and we're back.
There we go.
That was quick. Nice. Do you want to put the next one in, or the previous one into charge?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oops.
Also, that was quick. Like that was very quick. The battery was full.
Just making sure that one's full.
Okay. Well, this one is full. It's properly full at the very least. So.
That was our first incident of. I'm trying to think of an interesting way to title that, but I'm giving up because it took too long and now it's not going to be funny anymore. So, the first incident of camera battery nonsense. All right. Okay, next question, my bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm using a lot of South African slang here for those who are not South African. I apologize. Let's flip this on the side because it's.
Oh,
if I can actually
my mom is at Clicks buying me creatine.
Oh, nice, good stuff. Turn on smart. Come on.
Yeah, guys, if you move out of your house, you can say goodbye to free supplements.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Okay, Joe, next question. Who in bodybuilding history have you felt the most inspiration from?
The most inspiration? Okay, well, back in the day, all right, it was obviously there was David Lade was like the big one.
I see.
And then from that, Lex Little was also probably
I remember
big
that
inspiration. Yeah,
Lex Little.
I was seeing all those like squats and like all that stuff, but that was when I was just getting into squats and I was like, look at this, look at this guy. And then I would say it went to like obviously Chris Bumstead. The hype train for Chris Bumstead came on, and then I was like, okay, wow, watching all those his videos and stuff.
Yeah. Everyone has that.
Yeah. That's no definitely.
Surprise.
And then that was sort of where it stopped. I would say I sort of stopped watching a lot of like fitness related content that was like other people's fitness. Like I would occasionally watch some powerlifting videos and this and that, but mostly I started watching informational stuff.
I see.
So it's quite interesting. Like in the first year of my gym like journey, it's sort of I was very much looking at like videos and all sorts of stuff for like gym inspiration and whatnot. But then after that, I sort of started to take inspiration from myself, my own gym.
Now that you say that, I mean, I have the same thing. I don't watch any like inspiration anymore. Like I don't watch. I mean, occasionally I'll watch like some of Alex Eubank because I mean I've become quite a fan of him because of how he expresses his faith online, which I share with him because obviously I share the same faith. So I can relate with him in that way, but that's like the only reason I still watch him. But like I used to watch like Trent Twin, Sam Sulek, everyone, you watch them for inspiration. I'll be like, okay, I'm feeling more tired today. Maybe watch Trent Twin video, then I'll have the energy to go to gym. But now I just I don't know. I don't watch inspiration anymore. It's just I feel like I don't need it as much. It's kind of like, I mean, like Arnold said, guys, working out for someone like him or like someone like me, like I've gotten to this stage already, and it's only been 2 years, where working out is like brushing your teeth. Like if you don't do it, like you just feel off. For me at least, like because I work out at least 6 times a week, and like on my rest days that are scheduled, I still feel quite terrible, but I still go to the gym. Like I won't stay at home when it's my rest days. I'll go to the gym and I'll hit the cold plunge. I'll probably do a lot of cardio, cold plunge sauna, that kind of vibe. But nice. If I don't work out at all, then it's like not brushing your teeth. You just feel dirty when you sleep. You just feel dirty all around, really.
Feel like kind of sloppy and stuff. I feel like I don't feel as energetic when I don't work out, especially now that I've been working out in the mornings. It's like I don't feel like I've have my head of things in the day, but you have to take rest days. So you mentioned you scheduled your rest days. Do you schedule like everything in your workouts?
Well, not scheduled, but like my workout split has a rest day in it.
Okay.
So sometimes lot of people, not a lot of people, most people, some people, like what they'll do is they'll have their split with that doesn't have rest days, and they'll keep going until they really know they need a rest day. Then they'll take a rest day, which makes sense. I mean, Alex Eubank does that. I heard him talk about it. I was about to say Sam Sulek, but he doesn't take any rest days at all. But I mean, yeah. Also, just that is one thing. Also, not to take inspiration from Sam Sulek is to not take rest days. You do need some rest days. It's just because he's that far in and he's taking a lot of stuff. So you know he's got the that's stuff. So yeah, don't take the stuff and don't miss your rest days.
Don't take the rest.
Oh goodness gracious me. Anyway, so yes, I wanted to ask another question off of that. Is who is your if you have to have your favorite influencer right now, who would it be? And why?
That's a tough one. I would have to say, well, obviously Sam Sulek is like the big popular one. There's like everybody knows why it's so popular, you know.
Yeah.
So, I guess Sam Sulek is kind of one. Yeah, I don't feel like my answers are gonna be so basic. Like so basic and like, but yeah, just like the calming attitude is quite nice.
I see.
You know, his videos.
I get you.
At the same time, like he's calm in between sets, and then he goes into a set and just flipping like does some insane weight and stuff like that. It's that's kind of like how I like to work out as well. So I guess he's probably like my favorite influencer right now, I would say.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I don't really follow as many influencers, like gym influencers anymore.
It's hard to keep up with Sam Sulek.
Yeah.
His daily posts, like, unless you dedicate like half an hour of your day
40 minutes,
just to Sam, it kind of, you get
kind of
behind.
Put him on the background. And
exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I used to stay up to date with like every single one of his videos. Like there was a stage with like a week or two where like every night before I go to bed, I used to just put it on my screen. On my desk, and I used to sit on the couch in the back here and my screen over there, and I used to just watch every night before I go to bed. But then like I would skip one or two, and then because it's every single day, I'd be like, I'll skip that one, and then I'd slowly just kind of stop watching. I just don't watch that much fitness content. I still do watch like every now and then, but
I feel like fitness content is mainly for people like starting out at the gym, and then once you get to a certain point, you sort of watch more informational content, and you sort of slowly transition. Who knows? Maybe we'll start watching like stuff again.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe we'll see.
I mean, it just depends on what kind of person you are. Really.
It also depends on how much time you have.
Because I can't imagine Chris Bumstead sitting down and watching like Trentwin videos.
No.
He said he's seen one of them because of the time when they went viral, and so everyone told him to watch the Trentwins. So then he watched a video from the Trentwins. But like he did, so it just kind of depends on the kind of person you are. But right. Next, actually, I'm gonna grab a sip of water.
Yeah, gets to the point where you don't want to watch like other guys posing. You just like look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Or, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Water drinking ASMR.
It's me in the gym, dead silent, music's turned off.
Yeah, it's true. The taps at the gym, for those online, the upstairs, that tap that I drink water from, that they've turned off for like the past week.
Yeah,
bro, that's been more detrimental to me than the showers and the cold plunge and the sauna combined.
In between each set, or
it's
like
so
every
annoying.
time you want to fill up your bottle.
Like, I'd never thought a little tap in the corner would be so detrimental to my workout performance, but it really is.
And then you would go downstairs to like when I had a like 1.5 liter bottle, I'd go downstairs to go fill up, and the pressure's so low in the taps. I just stand there for like 5 minutes waiting for my bottle to fill up.
Another thing, guys, I don't know if it's just me or if it's common within gym bros, is that I'm so used to going to because what I do in between my sets to like rest is I'll go to the tap. So sometimes my stomach will be full of water. I don't feel like drinking water, but I just go and drink water because it's a habit. So sometimes I'll be training legs and I'm like, oh, my stomach's bad. I drink some water. I'm like, oh wait, it's because of that. And like I've taken a couple times this year, I've taken a bottle of water And I've like chucked a whole bunch of ice since it's nice and cold or whatever. So I've taken a bottle of water so I don't have to go to the tap. And I bring it, I put it down by myself. I go to the tap. I still go to the tap. It's just such a habit. Oh
goodness.
Okay. Let's pull out the notes.
It's nice though to bring a bottle because then you can kind of like figure out how much water you drank in the workout.
I just gave up because like I've brought a bottle so many times, and every single time I drink like a little bit from the bottle, and I'll drink like at least a liter just from the taps. Okay, so what's one thing you wish you would have known before you started?
Before I started working out.
Yeah, before you started.
Before I started gymming.
Before you started weightlifting. I'll say that.
Okay. I guess I wish I would have known more about what actually builds muscle, I guess, and the right exercise to do. Because I used to do millions of useless exercises. And I never had a training split. Like before I went to gym, I would just train like everything. You know,
I see. Yeah.
I just do a workout, and I also never used to eat properly. So I guess it was diet, like knowing what I know about diet now, and about like resistance training, like how you're supposed to train the pace of your reps and the range of motion and that kind of stuff. Right. But I guess that sort of comes with time, but it seems so simple now. Like if I could like write it all down in like a tiny little, like one paragraph, like what I wish I would have known. But
yeah. So I guess key points is number 1 is to do your research about food and like proteins, muscle growth foods.
Yeah.
And number 2 is watching, I would say, I don't know about your opinion on this, but I would say watching people like Sam Sulek and other people work out just to see what exercises they do.
That's a good one.
Because when I actually started going, fun fact, I used to, when I was like clueless and I started going, I used to go onto Google and I used to search exercises for back, and I'd look at Google images and I'll be like, okay, let me see that, let me do that. That's how we started out. And then what really helped me is when I started watching fitness influencers online, when they would do their gym vlogs, like, okay, Sam Sulek wasn't even exist. He didn't even exist on the internet at that time.
Yeah.
But I would just watch other guys work out on YouTube videos, and I would, obviously you can see the form and everything quite well, and I would just copy everything inch for inch, centimeter for centimeter, just, you know, pixel by pixel. And eventually I somehow built a mind muscle connection through that. And then also obviously building like a friend group in the gym. That's another important one if you want to like get or just get better in the gym in general. Because I remember when I started like properly trying to make like friends around there, then like my workout performance got a lot better because I got a whole bunch of help from random different people, a whole bunch of tips that combined into like big progress, basically. So, I mean, yeah, so just watch lots of guys online, make friends with guys in the gym. Some guys try to make friends with guys bigger than you in the gym. Sometimes it doesn't work because sometimes there's just some bad guys that are big that just don't like to talk to anyone. But that's not the case in the gym that I find. I feel like
most of the time it's definitely not.
I feel like almost all the big guys in the gym, you're going to like try and talk to them, like they'll actually, unless you come across as a tryhard, they'll actually really appreciate some conversation because or whatever. So yeah, another point is big guys are not as mean as they look. I get a lot of kids that get really scared of me these days, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like because obviously I have my sister lives here and she has two kids, like a 3-year-old and almost a 1-year-old. And sometimes they'll be like toddler friends or whatever. And then like even like boy or girl, kid sees me like across the whole, like there'll be a kid there and I'll be at the top of the property, see me, boom, dash down. Like no matter who it is, a boy. One time in the gym changing room, fun fact, I was in the changing room, right? I had my shirt off. So I mean, I had my pants and everything else. So don't worry. So I just had my shirt off because I was changing my shirt, And then this guy decided to bring his kid that must have been like 10 years old or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Changing
yeah.
room. This kid, like, I could sort of hear him like come in, and then he like glanced. He like saw me for a split second and then dashed out.
Oh no!
The camera's
the camera's going to get. This is. I don't think it can't be the battery. Surely.
This is ridiculous.
Surely you just like turn it back on. Is it not like a automatic like sleep?
Oh, no, it is.
What?
Oh, no, that's whack, bro.
It's just gone to sleep.
It's just gone to sleep.
Surely you can turn that off in the settings.
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
Okay.
I'll do that next time it goes off. Anyway, so back to the story, right? So this kid comes in. So there's a little, how to explain this? From your guys' point of view, there's a little black bench thing that goes around like this. And then there's like a wall just behind it. And then the door that goes into the changing room is from that. So that's basically if people outside make sure, even if they do go around the corner, they can't see anything from in the changing room, like any girls, for an example. So you have to kind of walk around. So I was standing from the perspective of like the board here, and this kid like walked through. He saw me for like a split, like not even joking, like a split second. His eyes like just glanced, and he ran away. He was like, daddy. He was so freaked out. And then like he came back in with his dad, like right behind his leg, like hanging onto his legs.
Goodness.
And like, yeah, that is one regrettable thing about getting big, is that you get a lot of kids get afraid of you.
Well, I feel like it's just like
intimidation.
You change your look. When you like, got the shaved head, and
I probably had a pump as well.
Shaved head, like huge muscular guy,
shaved
with
head,
buzz
shirtless,
cut,
with like a chest pump or something. I must have looked pretty crazy. So I don't blame that kid. So, I mean, yeah, that is another thing that it is harder to get along with your nephew's friends. I'll say that. So whenever my nephew, especially my nephew had his third year birthday party, because he turned 3, and yeah, it's a shame those kids would like see me and just dash. So, but yeah, I mean, besides that, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Besides for the finding clothing sizes.
Oh yeah. That is, guys, I'm telling you, I have this Young LA shirt. It comes in clutch because it is the only shirt that fits this loose, and that is not like to my knees. Everything else you find like that's loose fitting is like really long.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. And then also like annoying. A lot of shirts that you'll find that like nice loose fit, they'll still be tight around the arms, but then they'll be like loose-ish around here, and then they'll be like long.
Or they'll be wide in like weird places as well. They'll be like so really random. Wide around. They'll be like really wide around the stomach or something. Like that.
And then like the waist as well. It'll kind of be like I don't know, whatever. So I don't know what point I was making with there. Oh, and also the neck cuffs, bro. The thing with this, you see how well this fits? Like if I'm to get anything else, not from Young LA or any other fitness like clothing really brand that's this loose, the neckline will be like here. Which is, and like legs as well. Like trying to find swimming shorts that fit me around my legs that actually fit my waist is like near impossible. Like pretty much all of my pants, except for these pants. I don't know why these not. These are fit well for some reason. But all of my pants, even like my tracksuit shorts, like they'll like fit around my legs, and they'll be like around my waist. They'll be like, there's so much space. That is there's something you got to look out for.
Unfortunate side effect. I don't own a pair of like non-cargo pants anymore because I find I just like grow out of them, or they just don't fit me well. Yeah.
So because I have like a 32 inch waist, 34 inch waist.
Yeah, same.
And everything that I get that is like a 32 inch waist or whatever is just so tight around the legs. Like I have to get like extra large when it comes to like pants and stuff, so it can actually fit my legs. Within my waist, it's such a pain. So I'm not telling you this so you can skip leg day. Do not use this to skip leg day.
It's worth it.
Balance yourself out. It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. When people look at you and be like, yo, those pants don't fit, just show them a video of you like squatting, like whatever you squat, or leg pressing, whatever you leg press. That just came off the top of my head. I've never done that before. But might do that. No.
I feel like it has helped though. Like over time, I've sort of started training, like changing the way I train legs, and sort of helps you fit into more clothes while still maintaining like relatively big legs. If you do like the conventional stuff like all the time, I feel like especially leg press, then it becomes very hard to fit into stuff.
Yeah, I do a lot of leg press
and squats. But if you do equal amounts of that with like specific isolation exercises, you can get like a nice, some nice sized legs without them being like really hard to fit into anything.
The thing for me is I have such a habit of training like extremely hard. Like I can't, especially, I mean with everything pretty much, but especially with legs, like I can't not go hard. Like I can't just train soft.
Yeah.
Like it's really impossible because I've ingrained it so much into me that when I don't stop when I feel pain. Like I stop when I literally can't do it anymore. And then I'll keep going by drop setting, especially on leg extensions. My goodness. I've had knee injuries in the past because of my training, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a reoccurring knee injury. The joint problems, but that's just because I train so jolly hard. But I mean, yeah, so that gives me the excuse to skip legs once every 2 weeks if I feel like it. But because like, my knee problems are like today actually, which is weird because the last time I trained leg was like 3 or 4 days ago. When I got off my bike, because I take my bike to gym every day, and when I got off my bike, which is really weird because obviously when you're on a bike you don't use your knees. And when I got off my bike, I was like, I felt this really sharp pain. Like I almost started limping walking into the gym. I was getting off my bike, and you sit down. I was so confused, and then it like went away after 2 minutes. Like, and I didn't do any leg anything for like.
You should start doing like.
So confused.
Start doing the stuff from your video.
Yeah.
And then start doing.
Yeah, the thing is, I'll do it. I'll do it for like I'll do it for a while when like injuries come up, and then like I'll fade it off, and then I'll kind of stop doing it because my legs are fine, and it works. Also, but then sometimes it comes back.
Also, squats I find are very good. Like low squats, like you're all the way down, and you hold it, like pause at the bottom, and then go up. You don't even have to do heavy stuff, like, but just doing that seemed like
I just can't back
doing that helped my knee. Like completely get rid of my knee pain, basically.
I see, yeah.
It's because I started out like super light, like bar and like 40 kilos. And then I literally just sit there and I do like sets of like 8, pause. And then now my squat's back up to like, I did like 160 for 3 the other day. So it's back up and I have no knee pain. So
you hear this guy?
It's
yeah. I mean, for me, bro, squats. I'm going to be honest. I can't back squat. Like the whole bar situation in the back, I've never been able to. I've never been able to get out of that.
Get the low bar going.
Like I've tried so many positions on the back to put the bar, it just doesn't work. But that being said, front squats work, and like I find front squats way easier than I do find back squats. But
can you go all the way down with front squats? Like?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
No, I can't go all the way down.
I feel like the weights for the forward, so it's easier.
Recently, I had a little bit of an incident, which actually made me which made me kind of stop sort of squatting for a bit, and I was doing front squats. I was going for 5 rep max, right, and on my 4th rep, I was going down, but because I was like really struggling, so I had to like do the Larry Wheels technique. Well, I just heard it from Larry Wheels. It's not a Larry Wheels technique, but when you like hold your breath in at the top and then you hold it in for the whole way down and then keep your core like really tight, like the whole way down and up. And I didn't have a weightlifting belt, so this was another problem.
Okay.
So I was trying to keep myself as stable as possible, but on the way up, my back I think just gave up for a second, and I felt my spine do this. Ooh. And like I went goof, and then I bent down to straighten it again, and then like, and I managed to squat it back up. But like I just felt my back go like.
That's not good. Okay, yeah, I would understand
so, like,
why.
Ever since then, I'm like, So I think I'm gonna get a weight belt.
That's good, and then start doing back squats.
Yeah.
Do some low bar.
If I can get the placement right on my back,
adductors going, get those glutes going, and just
I would actually love to get back squats, but like the thing is, I've tried so much. Like I really want to do back squats, but I just can't because that stupid bar on the back.
Do you know what happened with me in back squats?
What?
I tried like millions of different, like so many different techniques, and then I like settled on one. I trained it for 3 months. I got up to like 140 PR. And then somebody came up to me and was like, your form is terrible. And then they didn't say that exactly, but they were like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
And then I changed my form completely. And then I spent another like month just figuring out form. And once I got it, my squats just like, phew.
Yeah.
So it is very, very much a thing of once you have the form down, even if it doesn't feel like amazing.
It's not form for me. It's the bar on the back. That's literally all it is.
But that's the thing, you have to, but now you've got like your back is so much bigger now. Like you have so much more muscle mass. I feel like it'd be much easier to find the right spot.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But once you have it, if you just squat every day, even if you're not doing it as part of your training, you just do like 2 sets of squats, like very light, or 3 sets very, very light. Like it's not even part of your training. The muscle memory will help so much with squats. Just the muscle memory of doing it.
Yeah. Oh wait. Okay. Right. Let's get into the next question, shall we?
My watch says it's time to stand.
Well, do you know what your watch should also say? It's time to subscribe.
Oh.
And like the video.
Subscribe,
yeah. There we go. Also, when I said that, the button should have lit up. Did you see that? Yeah, you want to go back 5 seconds and then hear me say that word again, and then you'll watch the button light up. It's really cool, actually. Yeah, there we go. You see that? It lit up? Yeah. Actually, maybe not. Because I think if you do it too many times within a certain number of minutes, it doesn't actually work.
Really?
Yeah. There's a limit to how much, because otherwise it would just like, just kind of.
You just spam it, yeah.
Exactly. Do you think bodybuilders are good fighters?
I think
it depends, obviously.
It depends. To be honest, I think that it's like saying a bodybuilder saying that they're a good fighter if they've never trained fighting, like anything like related to fighting, is like somebody who like just does sort of like random stuff. Like they're just naturally big, saying that they can like bench more than you, or like they could probably deadlift more than you or squat more than you, even though they've never gone to the gym before, So it's like, sometimes they could have like they could be like genetically gifted in that sense. Like they could just be really strong, just like somebody could have a good build for certain martial arts. But if they've never actually trained it, I feel like you're going to get beaten out by anybody who has actually trained it.
I see.
Like right now, your leg press. If some big guy that was like your size but never gym before in his life said he could leg press what you leg press, would you believe him?
No.
Yeah. And could he? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I think it's a similar thing where, if you've gotten to a certain point in like martial arts, then somebody who's never done it before is probably regardless of how genetically gifted they are, they're probably not going to be able to.
But that being said, if someone trains a martial art, someone like is very good in a martial art, but they're really skinny, and you take someone like that's a bit more like stable.
160, bro. I'm 260, bro. 260.
If you take someone like us, or like someone even bigger, like let's take like a bodybuilder, like someone that's not too extreme. I don't take like Jared Lunsford or anything like that because they're the extreme size of the scale. But if you take not the aesthetic guys, because they also, but I mean, let's just use us for an example. Like if you get like a guy that's like the same height as me, but like really skinny, and maybe he's like 60 kgs flat, maybe 55. Let's say he's 55.
Yeah.
But he's trained in martial arts and I haven't. Like, realistically, what can he do?
Well, I think it depends. If he's trained like jiu-jitsu and he's 60 kilos, he's still going to destroy you. Most likely. Just because of you don't have the sort of the strength in the right areas and you don't have the experience, because it is very technical kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So let me put this in a different context. Sorry, not just the specific training style.
Like,
if we
in
got in a street
general.
fight, who would win?
Okay.
Like a
If
really
it was
skinny
then,
trained.
so as somebody who's trained like
Martial.
MMA, for example, would you say someone like who's trained MMA, for example, or somebody who's trained in that kind of combat sport, or like any combat sport?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody who's trained in that particular combat, like in an actual, like they can fight in a street fight, would probably, like, in most weight classes, they would probably still beat us, I would think. Just because of, it's just very, very technical kind of thing, you know? Like,
yeah, but like outside of the sport itself, like if I, oh my goodness,
camera
bro,
again.
this thing is insane. I'm sorry, guys.
like, I know outside of the sport, right? There must be a setting you can change to like the sleep time or something like that.
It's gonna pop up a whole bunch of settings. And then
Okay. It'll be a pain. Okay.
I'll change that next time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
So I feel like obviously there are weight classes in fighting for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But those weight classes are to prevent bigger people who are also trained in fighting.
Yeah.
From actually destroying people who are also trained in fighting. You know, they're not like, if you have somebody who's completely untrained, then I don't think it would really make much of a difference. Well, I don't think the weight classes would help them so much. Like being heavier and stronger, I don't feel like it would help them nearly as much. For example, right? If you think about the amount of force required to knock someone out, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who is small and really like skinny but is trained can still output that force, right?
Yeah.
They can still output. They can still output the amount of force, like the minimum, like the amount of force that you need to knock someone out if you get a perfect hit. Sure, we could probably go a lot more force into it. Maybe if we're like a lot stronger than them, we could probably get a lot more force.
Yeah.
But you only need so much at a right angle to knock someone out. If someone's trained in fighting,
don't necessarily need that specific angle because we've got enough strength to make it happen anyway.
Yeah, but like if I'm saying like if the man, like they are trained, so they can probably get hit a lot more than us. First of all, right?
Yeah.
They're not used to getting hit by people like that much bigger than them, sure, but they're probably used to getting hit a lot more than us. Okay, so the chances of them landing a really good strike on us is quite a lot higher than us being able to land a really good strike on them.
I see, but if we do land a strike on them, it might be quite taxing.
It'll be more. It'll like do more damage, maybe.
Yeah.
But they will be able to take the damage a lot more than us, because we're not used to getting hit at all, like at all. But somebody's training is probably done sparring.
Well,
and
I suppose then it
that.
just comes down to the type of person you are. If you grow up as a tough child or a
but it comes down to
child.
experience as well, a lot.
I see.
Like a lot of experience, I would say, because and especially in fights, like if you don't have the experience, you're probably not gonna do nearly as well. Even if you're very strong, it just takes one well-timed hit to put you out. Whereas a more experienced fighter would definitely be able to see our hits coming, our blows coming.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they're trained in, like, sure,
would they though? Because if they trained in a specific martial art, then they'll be trained for that. So then there would be rules not to do certain stuff. But when you're on the streets, there's no rules.
Yeah, I mean MMA is very flexible. But if it was kickboxing, for example, then maybe we'd have a chance if we could get them down, and into a wrestling setting. But if they were trained in like something kickboxing and like jiu-jitsu, then it would be like ish. I don't know. But there is definitely a point where it's like, okay, they're so light that it would probably be
wrestling. What's your take on wrestling? Like in the same situation, but it's wrestling instead of
like actual sports, like America, like wrestling kind of thing.
Yeah, if it's like a skinny guy trying to wrestle me, that I've never really wrestled in my life.
Okay, well that I think weight plays a much bigger role. Like it depends on how skinny, sure, definitely. But I think at a certain point, it's like, okay,
indistinguishable.
Quite difficult.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's actually very, very handy. Being big, when you're walking around the streets, you feel very safe.
That's true.
Like that is one thing that has changed for me being big, because I don't know. I eventually, especially now, like when I'm like sort of at my peak size, not peak as in it's going to go down from now, but like the biggest I've been and the most muscular I've been.
Yeah.
I get a lot of like a less sort of aggressive negotiations. Let's say that meme time. But what was I going to say? Yeah, like I feel like the one time I actually almost got robbed, and then I started to show confidence, and then like, well, these two guys tried to steal my bike.
Yo, I never heard this.
You never heard this?
No, I've never heard this story.
Okay, story time, ladies and gentlemen. I was actually about to leave the gym. My bike was in the parking lot that was very close to the gym, actually.
What time was this?
I don't know if I should actually share this for the gym's sake. No, it's fine. Whatever. Come at me if you do need to.
What time is this at? Was it like late at night?
No. This is like middle of the day, bro.
Okay.
It was the sun was like up there.
Hectic.
This was like must have been probably like 3 o'clock. In fact, I used to go a little bit earlier, so maybe because I usually leave the gym at like 4ish now.
Yeah.
But like, so it must have been maybe like 2 to 4, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I was leaving the gym, and my bark. Excuse me.
My bark,
bro. My bike was parked quite close to the gym entry / exit, and so I was going there. Right, put my key in, and I can't remember if I actually started it or not. But anyway, I started putting my stuff on, and then these two reasonably skinny oaks come up, and they like at first I thought he was like begging, because we get a lot of beggars around here, but I thought he was like asking for money or whatever, and I don't have any money on me, so I was like, sorry Bri, I don't have any money. And then he said, I bet you've got a phone on you. So he said that, and I was like, oh well, okay, different intention here.
Yeah.
But then he said, I bet you also got some other very valuable stuff in your bag there. And then I started backing away. And then he looked at the bike, and he was like, "How much is the bike worth?"
Yo.
And like, so he was like clearly hinting that he wants to steal this bike. And he had another guy with him, by the way, just behind him. That wasn't as like involved, but but I could tell they were like sort of together. And I was backing away, right? And then
so you weren't on the bike yet? You just
No. Because I was busy putting my stuff on, my helmet on, my gloves on. So I just finished putting my gloves on. I was backing away, and then I realized once I was backing away that he was like going towards the bike, and I realized I left the key in the bike.
Ooh.
And I was backing away.
Yo.
And then all of a sudden, I had this, after a little bit of short prayer, I had this. I just realized that, like, I don't know why, because these guys are really small. I can't see any weapons on them.
Yeah.
And like, I'm big.
Yeah.
So I had this boost of confidence. Like, and as soon as
you're wearing some pretty thick leather jacket, and
I swear, both of them at the same time, as soon as I showed confidence, they looked at me and they're like, you could tell just fear struck in both of their eyes, and they started to like immediately back away. Once I was like, okay, guys, get out of here, because I was like, I just need to go home.
Yeah.
You guys, I just come to the point where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna back away like a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Like, this is my bike. I'm big. They're small. And whatever happens, happens. And if I need to fight, I'm going to fight. And so once I thought that through my head, they realized, oh, okay, this guy might actually be willing to fight. Let's back away.
Yeah.
And then they were like, started to back away, but like slowly I went to back, and I was like, keep going. And I started to keep going. So that is
sure.
the first and biggest experience I had with getting big, is having that sense of confidence. I promise you, if I didn't go to the gym and I'd stopped calisthenics and I was small, my bike would have gotten stolen. Either that, or I would have been beaten the crap out of. Well, probably just got my bike stolen, to be honest.
Probably didn't want to. The question is, could they ride it?
Oh, that's another good question. Yeah, they probably wouldn't give much away. But yeah, that they definitely would have taken at least something. But thanks to going to the gym on a regular basis and getting obsessed with training, I just had the confidence and I guess just the confidence, and also the same time, that session, I was doing like boxing training, but not like boxing training. For cardio, I was doing like boxing. I was like really mashing that thing. So I thought of that while I was getting my confidence back, while I was standing looking at them. Then they were just like, they were pretty overwhelmed by the amount of confidence that just came out of nowhere. They were like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's those kind of situations where I'm like, okay, that things that could happen to you, you know, where I would like to have some sort of training so I can have a little bit more confidence. Like being big puts you confidence, but
100%.
actually having a little bit of training and stuff, just I feel like would help so much.
No, 100%. Yeah, I've also had times when I walked to gym recently. So not recently, but like a month or two ago. And it is quite far away. So
that's quite hectic.
Yeah. So I walked. So I had my phone in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
And I was going past a semi-dangerous area, and I had another guy that was like walking like past me, but I could see like he was like looking down, and then he first looked at the phone in my pocket, and I could sort of see like a little bit of like in his eyes. And then he kind of started to look up, and he saw my frame, and then he looked away. So,
but you must be careful still walking.
No, 100%. Like, 100%. Like, I'm not saying like get big so then you can walk everywhere and no one will mess you up. Because if someone is willing to mess you up with your size, then you're really stuffed. Because if they have the confidence to beat you up or if they have any kind of weapon. Oh yeah, first of all, when they have a weapon, but if they have the courage to still try and confront you when you're big and you have courage, then that means they've got some experience under their belt you don't want to mess with.
Or they've got a bunch of friends hiding around the corner.
All that, yeah, exactly. All right, nice. Good
back
topic. Back on track. Yeah, buddy. Okay, how do you think bodybuilding is judged from the outside perspective, and is it under or overvalued?
Okay, well, I think we need more sort of depth to that. So like judged as in like the way other people see it.
Other people perceive it.
Okay. Well, for that, I think there's often like a pretty big stigma around it, I feel like. Just coming from a place of like having a family that never used to like nobody used to actually gym. They used to do like other sports and stuff. And I've heard all the things that people say, like the misconceptions people have about the gym. So I definitely think bodybuilding is sort of judged like these big oily guys on the stage kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But so from an outside perspective, it definitely can be judged and sort of seen as a bit strange. But once you like start working out and you realize, you
realize it's way too much hard work to go undervalued.
Yeah. And then what do you mean by undervalued or overvalued?
I guess I mean respected, like under-respected or over-respected.
I would definitely say under-respected in terms of like certain people who don't sort of know anyone that's working out a lot, or people, certain groups that are very uninformed, I would say.
Yeah, because I like from like a lot of.
I think social media has helped a lot though.
Like cousins and friends, like when they figure out like what I'm into, and then like people, I don't know why people get so like they think it's disgusting.
I know,
like a lot of girls especially. I don't know why. Like it's
like a balloon.
It's like it's like I don't understand why people get so like disgusted by so many years of hard work.
Yeah.
Like people look at someone like Derek Lunsford and they'll, you know who Derek Lunsford is?
Yeah.
He's Mr. Olympia of last year.
Yeah.
And they'll look at like someone like him and they'll just blame all of his everything on steroids. And I mean, yes, you can't get that big naturally. You have to have some juice. That's water, not juice, by the way.
A lot of juice.
But
you have to have a lot of juice.
Yeah, so you obviously do need, in order to get to that level, you do need steroids. But so many people that are not in the bodybuilding or gym niche blame like all the big guys on steroids. Like as soon as someone looks impressive, they'll just be like steroids.
Yeah, it's a good way to figure out if someone's on juice. They're bigger than you.
No, don't encourage it, Joe. Please, come on. So I lost track of what I was saying now. Joe, come on, give me a prompt. Completely just went on a complete blank.
What other people think about, like...
Oh, yeah. So, like, a lot of people outside of the gym, as soon as there's, like, insane strength or physique, whether they are on steroids or not, it's kind of their perspective is, like... Steroids, you just pin yourself and then you just look like you are, and you don't need to put any work in. Like a lot of people, even some people at the gym actually, who like are not that like sort of newbie gym goers, and some sort of casual gym goers even have the same perspective. Like so many people think that you pin some testosterone in you and all of a sudden you look like Darius Lunsford. Like
I can't subscribe right now for more ASMR, and turn on that bell notification and follow on Instagram
and hit the like button.
There we go.
Yeah, buddy.
There we go.
All right. Okay, so I mean, I don't really have much else to say on the topic, but I'll just say I think it is very much under-respected. I feel like when people hear that the word bodybuilding, it just kind of goes like, oh, yeah.
It's like oily, big oily guys on stage.
Yeah, it's which is weird because, like, you can take any other sport that the average person that says that about bodybuilding that they don't know about, like any other sport, and they'll just be like, oh, cool, okay, cool, you do that. I'm glad you do that. I'm happy for you. Good luck.
I think it's probably because of like the sort of those other sports, you sort of still look kind of normal, Yeah. But a bodybuilder stands out quite a bit.
I also think, I think people get the perspective that bodybuilders are self-obsessed.
That is true.
Because obviously, because the sport is based on building your body, people think that you're obsessed with your body.
That's true. And it's all the whole thing of posing.
So obviously
and all that kind of
I'm
stuff.
actually going to go a little bit deep into this. Obviously you can get obsessed with your physique and like working out and trying to get as shredded or as big as possible. Definitely. But if you put it into perspective, right, there's the equivalent unhealthy amount of obsession with any other sport. Let's take javelin for an example, because I used to do javelin. And I could be like absolutely obsessed with trying to throw 40 meters or whatever. Yeah. And then make that like my life goal. And then me being depressed if I can't throw more than 35, So I could be obsessed and I could make that my full personality throwing a javelin. And then as soon as like I get the 40 meters or whatever, or if I throw decent, then I can say, oh, hey, my name's Kathan and I can throw javelin 40 meters. Like there can be the equivalent amount of obsession with any sport you can think of. It's just when you put it into bodybuilding, because it's about your body, people perceive it as way worse.
Yeah. And it's the perceived like vanity in it, I think, because of like you're sort of standing on a stage, posing, looking in the mirror for ages, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, like I just said, it is very easy to get self-obsessed because it is your body. So it's easier to get self-obsessed in bodybuilding more than any other sport, but it's just the same kind of obsessed. Like a lot of people, some people might be, a lot of people probably are, but a lot of people that are in the same sport have like a great mindset about it, but just because it is the sport it is, people think that they're obsessed with their body. I mean, I get that. People, friends from like, I don't know, like school or church or whatever, they think I'm obsessed with my body.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit hard to deal with, honestly, from like any friends outside of the gym. Like people just think I'm obsessed with my body, which I'm not, honestly. Like, yeah, it's more about training, and I just fall in love with training and fall in love with progress.
Yeah, I think it's becoming a little bit like less of an issue now thanks to like social media and fitness influencers, it's sort of becoming
pushing the
much
good
less of an
information
issue.
out. But again, that only reaches the people that they make content for.
That's true. But it is a lot of the younger generation, which is good, because then the information can sort of trickle upwards a little bit.
Slowly spill out, and then everyone can get the gist of it. And maybe in 2060, you can be a bodybuilder and be respected all around. Yay! All right. Next question. I hope you guys got some value from that. I hope you guys get some value from this whole podcast. I trying to make this as valuable as possible, whether that might be entertaining or whether that might be information or whether that might be both.
It might actually be a good idea to get some research studies out for things, actually.
Okay.
Potential.
Okay, here's the juicy question.
Okay.
What's your opinion
literally juicy
on
question.
roids? Yeah. What's your opinion on juicy
juiceness?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would say
steroids in general, and then like testosterone, and then tren, because those are very different.
Yeah. I don't really judge anyone if they want to take anything. It's just more of if you take it in a way that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
That's very unhealthy, you know. Obviously taking any amount will most likely have some kind of effects.
Yeah.
Well, especially taking like large amounts of like test or anything will have effects on you. But I think if you weigh the risks, you know, and the rewards, and it's worth it, then it's fair. But not something I would really ever consider, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think there was one point where I was like, okay, well, I'm at least 25, and I'm like, you know, but now I'm like, okay, it's just not really worth,
But like a big factor that helps not take it is the price of it.
That
stuff
true.
is expensive. To be honest, I don't
How
know
do you
the
know
actual
it's
price.
expensive, Kathan?
So don't ask me how I know it's expensive. But it's just from what I've heard.
Yeah.
It's expensive, and the research I've done is apparently it's very expensive. So I mean, it's pure hormone in liquid form that you inject into yourself. That must be very expensive. So
definitely.
I mean, yeah. And do you have differing opinions between? Okay, I don't know like all the types of steroids. The only two I really know is just tren and test. But like those are two pretty much opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to steroids that are still in the category of bodybuilding. So like tren and test. Tren, I don't actually fully understand what tren is, but I think it's something that it's pretty much. I've heard it's very unhealthy.
Yeah,
it's kind of an unhealthy
I've heard
version
bad
of
things
test,
about
but
tren as well, like lots of side effects.
Go ahead with your opinion on both of them.
Well, tren is just something I would never touch, to be honest. Like if you want to get bigger, like in an unnatural way, in a sense, well, unnatural. So if you want to like give up the natty card in some way, I would say tren is the last thing I would ever consider. It would definitely just be like a little test boost. Yeah. Not that I would, you know.
Yeah.
I'm saying, it is. I've heard a lot of stories about like side effects and stuff online. So
yeah, a lot of people regret taking steroids in general, but especially tren.
Yeah.
Except for the tren twins, obviously. They don't care at all. They just like.
Well, they don't actually take tren, thankfully.
They do. Well, they did at least.
They tried. I think they tried it once, but one of them tried it once. But it's they just do like tests.
I see.
Like a lot of tests.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I'll give my opinion on this because my opinion on steroid use obviously is very different to steroid abuse. But I'll just talk about steroid.
That's
use.
very true.
I'll just talk about steroid use, and in the context, I'll say it's all right in the context of you doing it as a sport for a living, competitively, in like, again, like trying to do the sport to make a living from it, and you're up to like the levels of IFBB, IBFF, IFBB, there's a South African federation that's called the IBFF, which sounds a lot like IFBB, so I get mixed up between the two sometimes. But IFBB Pro Like you can't get to that stage without taking steroids. And if you are making a living from the sport, which is extremely hard to begin with, and you're at the levels where you have gotten a really good physique that can get you like the pro card level, and I mean, like I said, if it's sort of a career thing and you could take competing very seriously, then you can't get anywhere, really. You can't get too much of a high level without steroids.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like,
I mean, it's acceptable there,
is that the
but
only
like
case,
so
in your opinion?
so my case where it's not really acceptable is, well, acceptable is a case for me to lose respect when someone takes steroids is when they don't compete.
Really?
Like if someone doesn't compete and they take steroids,
like somebody who just wants to be big.
Yeah, if someone like just wants to be big and they take steroids, then that means they're self-obsessed. Because
You think so?
yeah, I really do think
What
so.
if they just really enjoy like lifting heavy and stuff like that, and they just want to, and they've weighed the risks and they're just taking a little bit of tests, and now they're benching a lot and they're like enjoying it.
If they're working with a doctor closely and they've got like, if they're taking TRT with a doctor,
But that's just like test, but like less.
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. Testosterone replacement therapy often actually goes up to 150 milligrams
Yeah.
per week sometimes. So, like, I mean, even that case, that's a big boost. So that's still TRT. TRT obviously is a different perspective, but if you're taking like steroids, like if you're taking Tren, or if you're taking like
blasting,
if you're taking like 400 plus milligrams a week of test, then and without competing,
yeah,
that
that
like
verges
for me,
on abuse though, isn't it?
yeah, exactly, which is steroid abuse.
Yeah.
So in my mind, if you take steroids and you don't compete, then that's pretty much.
So then, what do you think about steroid abuse and for competing?
Well, that is a big problem because I feel like then in that case, the steroid taker is delusional in the fact that they think the more they take, the bigger they'll get.
In some cases, they're right there.
In some very rare cases, but depends on how much you take though. Like if you're taking, like the most you should take is like 1,000 milligrams a week.
Yeah.
And like, which is 1 milligram. Sorry, one
gram.
milliliter. Sorry, excuse me, 1 milliliter a week. And like and that's like at the stage where that's like Rich Piana kind of style. That's when you get like huge. But like, again, that is extremely unhealthy, and you're probably going to die very soon doing that.
Yeah.
You probably won't last anything longer than 50 years old taking that much. I almost want to guarantee you that. But also, I mean, again, if you take any more than that, it's just delusional because you're just so
sacrificing.
Yeah, I just think that
so
just
much,
comes to
yeah.
self-obsession, and it's no longer about steroids. It's
Also just very unsafe, and you just need to weigh the risks. I feel like it's good to weigh the risks of things.
I can't imagine it being very addictive though, because when you hop on, like, and you go 100 milligrams a week, and you see the progress you do, then it starts to like go like flatlining. Like the temptation to just add like a little bit more because you already have the stuff.
Yeah.
Like the temptation to add a little bit more would be really high.
I feel
just don't start it, then you won't get down that rabbit hole.
I feel like when I first started gymming, I always thought that I was like, okay, well, if you want to push it a little bit more, then you take a little bit. But now seeing how far like we can come,
point the mic in the direction of you. Yeah, there you go.
Seeing how far that we've been able to come sort of in the gym without anything like extra, it sort of has changed my opinion. So it's like when I started.
Yeah, 100%. Because I've had my temptations like.
I remember you're like 2 years time, I'm going.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Is that obvious?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
you were like,
I hope my mom doesn't.
you were
see
like, I'm
this.
gonna
Sorry,
compete
Mom,
a little
don't
bit
look at this.
naturally, and then next competition after next year. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like,
you see,
whoa.
the thing is, when I had that time, it's because my progress was like really flatlining,
Yeah.
and so I couldn't really see myself naturally getting bigger. But I've surprised myself, my old self. If my old self saw me now as natural,
Yeah.
and knew I was natural the way I look now,
Yeah.
I would have been like,
Really
hey, well,
stopped.
that's not possible.
But it's,
So, like,
It's
there's a
age
lot
thing
more
as well.
possible than you think there is being
Yeah.
a natural.
I think it's definitely because you've gotten older. I think
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
your body is sort of
Testosterone levels. are
testosterone
almost peaking.
levels,
'Cause I
everything.
think that's 19 years old.
Yeah,
19,
because
20.
that was also
And
when
main-
I started to like
maintains to like
put on
24.
muscle, So like I gained muscle over the years, but it was only like when I was 19, 20, 21 that I was able to really put on muscle by like through training and diet. I could
Yeah.
really put it on effectively. So if you are young, like under 17, you're
Yeah,
not seeing
just
stuff,
don't
then
you dare.
it's fine. Just chill.
Don't you dare
Just
take
chill.
the juices.
Just relax,
Yeah, that is a good point. Don't be young and take steroids. That's not saying you can call yourself older than take steroids when you're 16. Oh my goodness, bro.
Subscribe. It's making cuts for you.
Yeah, making cuts. I'm making promotions.
It's a segue
Like-
to the sponsor.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Um,
Or actually, even better, Manscaped. Oh goodness. All right. Okay, here's an interesting one. Story time. What is the weirdest encounter you've ever had in the gym, if you do remember?
Ooh.
Because I myself, when I wrote this question, I couldn't actually really
Okay.
remember.
Okay. So
anything.
encounter. So there's been some weird stuff that's happened at gyms. I've had actually. It was a while ago. I had 2 instances that were pretty close together, where I like saw, because there's so many mirrors in the gym. I saw people like taking pictures of me out of the corner of my eye. One funny story. Yeah, I was like just
Like girls or
standing.
guys?
The girls.
Oh,
I was just chilling.
Wow, look at this
Okay,
guy.
and there was a girl that
That's
was
what
like,
happens when you look like him. I've never got that before.
it'll come.
It's
It'll
the hair.
come.
It's the hair. It's the middle part.
I think I had longer hair back
When
then.
you get a buzz cut, they just run away from you. They get scared of you.
That's when the guys start looking.
Yeah, that's when. That's when the guys look at you.
But basically, I saw out of the corner of my eye, obviously, like, because there's so many mirrors, you can see when people are glancing at you, right?
Yeah.
And I saw out of the corner of my eye, like a phone up against their ear, like up against the ear like this, right?
Pointed directly at you.
Pointed directly at me, and the flash going like,
Oh, that is
Like
so.
that.
At least they would
Like,
turn
I
the
just
flash
saw
off.
it.
Like that was bad.
yeah,
like, they
I
should've-
just saw that. Yeah, they had the flash on. It was ish, and I actually found out about it later as well. Like it was confirmed later by my friend who received the picture.
Oh,
asking about.
no ways.
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
So that was quite
Wow.
strange. But aside from that, I don't know if there were any. There was just like I guess weird people in gym. Like there's one
are some
guy.
very odd people in the gym.
Like one older guy with long hair.
Yeah.
He's just like who used to use like 5 different things at once. Like he'd sit on the bench press.
Oh, no.
And he would have like
Oh,
one
that is
set of
so
dumbbells
annoying.
and 3 sets of like one dumbbell of like different weights. Okay.
And then they do the
then-
ab workouts
Yeah,
on
and he
the
do his
bench.
ab workout on the
that
bench,
is-
and he was using a cable.
Those people
like,
should
oh
be
my
kicked out every
goodness.
time.
But recently, there's been this one guy. He's like my gym NPC.
Recently.
Yeah, very recently. He still goes. I still see him at the gym.
Oh, okay.
It's hilarious. I think he's actually working out, but like, just he has like this long. He looks like a cartoon character. He's got like this like long like hair, like not long, but like sort of here the middle part, and he wears sunglasses at the gym, and he's
don't
always
describe him too much because obviously this is
yeah.
recorded. So.
And then he's always wearing like comical kind of clothing for the gym, like you wouldn't really see at the gym. And he comes to the gym and he has like clearly like he's new to the gym. Like he doesn't have good form, but he picks up like the heaviest weights you've ever seen and starts like swinging it like crazy, looking at himself in the mirror. Does that for like, you know, one set of like 20 reps, puts them down, leaves.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
It's the best thing ever. And he always does it like, he always like does it next to somebody who's doing the same thing as well, which is, well, he's done that a couple of times.
That's ridiculous.
Like I've been doing lateral raises and then he picks up like some heavy weights, you know, like I'm doing lateral raises, like, you know, I'm doing like the like 10s or 12s, you know, like and then going down
up,
and then he goes
squeezing, like,
and he'll grab
slow.
like the 16s or something and then he just goes.
That is hilarious. That's sad.
Yeah, but no, it's entertaining, you know, and you know, who knows? Maybe, you know, maybe he'll get huge from it. You know,
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Maybe another Sam Sulek proving science wrong.
What if he's just secretly actually going home and doing serious workouts and then he comes to the gym and everyone's just like, how did you get so big?
Have you seen that clip of that guy that like said that technique?
Yeah.
Yes,
You just
it's
like, you go to the
hilarious.
gym, you do some random stuff, and then you go to another gym and do a serious workout. Everybody in the first gym thinks you're doing some like secret new workout that works really well.
And what's the worst experience you've had at the gym? Like in terms of yeah, I mean, it's just the worst experience. Like maybe someone being like extremely rude, like someone just, or
yeah, I guess when it gets really busy in the evenings, back in the like a while ago, they used to have, specifically I think when the gym owner was working out sometimes, then all the staff would be like really on edge.
Oh yeah.
And they would all like in the top area, you know, there's like 5 staff members standing in like a tiny room looking around. If you do like one set of an exercise, then they're like, are you done here? You're gonna move on. You're gonna move around. You gotta move on. You can't.
No,
I'm like,
I've had that before as well.
Like, what are you talking about? I just started working out. Like, can I not rest in between sets for like a minute, 2 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of annoying. But other than that, not really too many bad experiences. Other than maybe like the water being off. But that's just like because of the circumstances.
And like any like really bad encounters with people? Like people like just
not really
just being
actually.
unreasonable.
People generally quite chilled at the gym actually, which is I'm quite lucky I guess because I've heard of some bad stories.
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah, I had a encounter, me and a good friend, Landon. Me and Landon, right? We were training back together.
Yeah.
I think we were training together, or I was just doing an exercise and he was there and he was like helping me out and whatever, we were just chatting or whatever. And right, so I was doing this like new sort of interesting exercise using the cables on the middle floor. Right. And obviously I went super intense, so I had to rest for like at least 2 minutes because I was like
at least 2 minutes,
cooked. But I was going to go for another set after that. And this lady that must have been like 40, 50, somewhere around there, like tattoos, skinny.
Mm.
She comes up and she doesn't even ask a thing. She takes the machine, she starts changing attachments. Our phone is right there.
Yeah.
My phone, my headset, and like we standing like 1 meter away from the cable set, and he's showing me something on his phone, and she comes with all the stuff like right there. She takes off the attachment, starts shifting the thing up, and almost starts doing the exercise. And then you're like, hey, excuse me. Landon was actually training with me. We were training together, so it wasn't just me. Now that I'm remembering the occasion.
Yeah.
And we're like, excuse me, like I'm still busy here. And then, we still busy here. And then she was like, well, you guys have been on your phone for way too long, clearly not doing anything, so I'm just going to carry on going. Right?
What?
And so she just like almost kept on going. And like, we like, I can't really, it was quite a while ago, so I can't remember the full like interaction.
Yeah.
But we just like, she kept on arguing like pathetically so much because we were like for 1.5 minutes, not even 2 minutes. We were like, Landon was showing me something on his phone, but otherwise we were just talking while I was resting right next to the machine. And then she was accusing us of being just on our phone the whole time. She was like, you're on your phone the whole time. You don't ever work out. All you do is just stare at your phone. And so therefore, I'm taking the machine because you're not actually doing anything. And I'm not joking. That wasn't the worst part. After that incident, we had like a long encounter or whatever. And she left. We didn't see her for at least 2 months in the gym. Yeah. She was gone. Clearly that experience really hurt her or whatever. Yeah. Because, I mean, she was just being way too about it. And yeah, she really just... So we just didn't see her for like 2 months. And she came back. And I'm not joking. I've seen her... I see her on like a semi-regular basis now. I've seen her once not on her phone. The very thing she accused us of doing that she wanted us to get kicked out of the gym because of. Taking our machines because of. She, like, I see her all the time, and I'm not even joking, not just sitting down, like, on her phone. She'll be doing an exercise still on her phone. She'll be doing leg press. Like, the leg press machine where the chair moves. She'll be sitting down, and she'll be kind of, like, pressing, but she'll be, like...
On her phone.
Or she'll be sitting by the low row machine on her phone. And she, all the time. And it makes me so mad. Because this is the person that, like...
That's the thing she was getting mad at you at. The very person
that told us... Like, she literally wanted us to get kicked out of the gym because we were on our phone for less than 2 minutes in between a set because we were resting after a heavy exercise that she wanted to use the machine for. Yeah. And so, yeah, my goodness gracious me. She was literally... I literally see her all the time on her phone. Like, eyes glued to her phone. Sometimes she's on a call, but most of the time she's just doing this.
That's a bit strange, though, on a call.
All this. Yeah. You know, the scrolling action.
Yeah.
But like, that is the worst interaction I've had at gym. That that interaction, that stays here. That's a story. That's a story and a half.
You get some annoying people sometimes.
You do.
That's why I always keep like a timer on my phone. So like I go to my phone,
I
pull out like 3 minute timer, and I start the timer, and then I stop it after like, when it's like halfway through, and then I just leave that app open.
Just whip it out and press start, and then
press so if people like come up to me, even if I've been sitting for like back when I did like squats, I'd do like long rest periods.
Yeah,
and then people would come up to me and be like, "How long are you going to be?" And or they'd be like, "Are you busy here?" Or something like that. If they were getting like, because I was resting for like 10, 12 minutes.
You're resting too long.
Or I was resting, I like forget about that. Like, or I was going for a PR, so I wanted to rest, and then I just pull out like the 3 minute timer and like unpause and show it.
That's hilarious.
Works every time.
I was going to mention something. Oh yeah, I also had the one time when I was doing some leg press, and because I was using all the 20s from the rack and I'd taken all the 20s off.
Yeah.
This one guy decided to put the 2.5s where the 20s go. There and where the 2.5s go. So all the racks were taken up with like 2.5s. And I came there with the 20 racks. I was carrying the 20s, like both 20s in both hands. Like I literally said to this guy, "Hey, like, I'm sorry, excuse me, do you mind putting the 2.5s where the 2.5s go so I can put the 20s where the 20s go?" And he was like, "What's your problem? Why can't you do it?" Like and then he started that attitude, me holding these 20s, like walking there, and then he started like rambling on about it, and then like eventually like he did it, he was like, "Oh, if it makes you happy," and he walked off, and I'm like, "Bro, please, this is just like
and then you get the people that show up and just like leave all of their weights out.
Oh yeah,
like everywhere.
I had that happened like this week.
It's been happening a lot.
Yeah.
Today,
someone
actually
left, like, literally, I don't know if they were doing a drop set. I mean, I presume they were doing a drop set. But 4 pairs of dumbbells that were just left.
Okay, that's a little bit
like,
excessive.
That is extreme. Jeez. Like, that's the worst I've seen. And that happened
people
this
come
week.
from other gyms, I think. Sometimes they leave their weights out.
Okay. Next question, my bro.
All right.
I need to stop saying my bro. It sounds weird. It sounds weird when I say it on a podcast. Have you ever felt like quitting, and what made you keep going?
Like quitting completely. I don't think I've ever felt like quitting gym completely, I would say.
Or like giving up, I should say. I mean, same thing.
Giving up with what?
Like training, I suppose. Yeah. Or you felt like really demotivated.
Like I've definitely felt demotivated. I think probably after being sick a couple of times, you lose a lot of muscle and you're like, damn, back down here. But usually it's just like you said, it's like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you get motivated to brush your teeth? Do you brush your teeth? You still brush your teeth. Right?
Yeah.
So, I guess I would say, I have had times definitely when I've been very demotivated to go to gym, but I still go to gym. I usually push through it.
Yeah.
I'd rather do a bad workout. I mean, I'd rather like work out feeling bad than not work out while still feeling bad, So, yeah, but I think there've been a couple of times where I've considered stopping, like training how I've been training, I'll stop bodybuilding training, for example.
Yeah.
To do like fitness or something, if I like exclusively, just because of like time constraints, really. So there's been a couple of times I'm like, okay, I need to change something because otherwise I'm doing this too often. I'm not going to be able to keep this up.
Yeah.
But generally, I don't think I've ever really felt like quitting completely.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to gym as much as I can.
Yeah.
As like right now, well, I still can just go all the time,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And you?
I feel the same, honestly. Like I've just fallen, like very recently, I've kind of more fallen in love with training than
the process.
than bodybuilding itself.
Good. Yeah.
I've noticed, I've realized over the past couple of days that I literally haven't been posing. I haven't been like posing much.
Yeah.
Like the most I'll pose is when I do a drop set and then I'll flex that muscle.
Yeah.
Which will, oh goodness gracious me.
I think the amount of posing I've been doing as well has also gone down the bigger I've got as well, I would say.
How much battery's left? There's 3 bars, bro.
Yeah. I think the other one was full still, but we just didn't realize it.
What is it? No, it's still, oh no, it is. Anyway, so I was talking. I get so lost so quickly.
Really?
Like I'll be talking. It is something I need to work on, actually, especially because I'm starting a podcast now. I need to work on it. But when I'm having a conversation and something goes off track, I can't get back on the track.
Really?
Unless the other person helps me.
Are you like between sets yapper?
Unless what?
You yap in between sets. Professional yapper.
What has that got to do with me? Yeah, no. But anyway, what I was saying is that when I managed to get back on track with this though, is when I obviously because whatever, when I talk about something, and then as long as it's not short, because if it's like a really short, like what that was, then I can get back onto what I was saying. But if it's like anything more than 20 seconds, I'm like, I can't remember what the heck I was talking about. Let's move on. And I've noticed it a lot recently, and it's bothering me. So I got to work on that. Sorry, guys. It'll improve. I promise you that. I'll work on that for the sake of the podcast and more than just me as well. But
but back to what you were saying with the like enjoying the process of training.
Oh yeah,
it's
so
there's a saying. Okay, person who loves walking will walk further than the person who loves the destination.
That is what I've been feeling at the moment, and that is. I've completely, I actually told someone this the other day when, I can't remember exactly what he asked me, but this kind of topic came up. And I realized that I don't actually have goals anymore when it comes to fitness and bodybuilding. Obviously, I have the small goals of I want to bench more, let's work on the bench, get the strength up on bench, because why not?
Yeah.
But I don't have, in terms of fitness, bodybuilding or anything, I really don't have a goal. I'm not looking to compete specifically. Maybe I will one day in the future, but it's very taxing and it takes a big toll on work. Yeah. I remember this when I competed before. The month I was prepping, which is much shorter than you should be prepping for. 1 month is very small. You should be prepping for at least 2 months.
Yeah.
And I think I was in grade 11. That month, everything just went down. Homework was almost never done.
Yo.
And I was pretty diligent with doing my homework most of the time. And this month, everything was just really bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back on track, what I was saying is basically like I'm not looking to compete in the future, so I don't have any goals. And like another misconception people have about bodybuilding or training in general is that we really like have a goal in mind. And you do when you start. You have a goal because you want to like get big or whatever. But for me, like if I stop now and I maintained my physique, I would be very happy. Like I mean, I'm fine with my physique. And if I wanted to cut, I'd cut. If I wanted to bulk, I'd bulk. I'm not
Same.
like I've lost the sort of obsession to sort of get bigger or get more shredded or whatever. I've just fallen in love with the training, and I just love pushing my limits when it comes to training and just feeling that really extreme pain on like the end of those heavy sets. Like I just love feeling that pain, to be honest. So I just I just love training, to be honest. So goals out the window. I just love the journey, because like Sam Silik said, which a quote you quoted is, the man who likes walking will walk longer than the person who likes the destination. And that is very true, because I know I've reached the destination of goals I've had in mind when I first started. I've surpassed them by a lot. I remember I just wanted to get a bit bigger. I'm quite big. I'm definitely bigger than I'm definitely bigger than I originally wanted to be. So like I don't necessarily want to get any bigger. I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, if it happens, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, cool. I train to get big. Yeah, I'm gonna get big.
Yeah.
But
you're
like,
definitely gonna get bigger.
I'm not. That's not a goal. Like, I don't care if I stay the same size. I don't care if I get smaller. I just kind of. I mean, I probably will care if I get smaller. If I'm training to get bigger, then that'll kind of be like 1 + 1 is -1. What? When did that happen? But I mean, like, I wouldn't be sad if I got smaller. I'll say that. Like, I don't have goals. I just love training.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I think it's good sometimes to set goals for things.
Yeah, 100%.
Because even like just to write them down.
I feel like it's a stage thing as well.
It's
like when you first start out, you got to have the goals.
Yeah.
But like when you get to the stage that we at,
direction.
then it's normal to not really have goals. People just train to train.
Yeah. But it is good. It's good to have that direction when you first start out. You know? I mean, I guess your goal right now is maintaining and like improving a little bit. You know, training hard can be your goal.
My goal is to train hard every day.
There we go.
That's actually right. I do have a goal, and that is to train hard every day.
There we go.
And I don't have a goal physique wise.
Yeah.
Because I'm just fine the way I am, and I'm happy. So whatever happens from here on happens. That's good. I just love training.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So when yeah, that's actually very true that you say that the goal is to train hard, because sometimes when I had this past, like, not today and not really yesterday, but day before and before, I had no music because my headphones had died, and like there was terrible music playing in the gym, and there weren't any friends around, which is quite rare because I know a lot of people at the gym. Like, I know almost everyone at the gym because because
you go there every day.
Because I go there very often for a very long period of time. So it was, I had, like, my workout performance was bad. And, like, I felt, like, really sad with, the whole thing. And I realized, now that you say that, that I do have a goal, and that is to train hard every day. And I couldn't really train. I didn't have the capacity to train hard those days. And so it made me sad because I couldn't achieve my goal. That is like a more short-term, get that done today kind of goal.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people, when you start out, having goal to get big or get shredded or whatever is more of a priority. But like once you start to sort of reach that goal, then the goals become more short-term. Yeah.
Definitely. It's good to take it day by day, though.
Yeah, like if you starting out going to the gym and being like, oh, my goal is to bench press 100 kgs one day, and then you bench press 100 kgs, and then you say, oh, my goal is to bench 110. That's not going to take that long. It becomes shorter and shorter until you just sort of do it for the process, which I feel like I'm in right now. But
that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question. This
What's
is
the time?
how long has it been going on for? It should say at the bottom there, 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Goodness me, that's quite a while.
Wow, goodness gracious me! We still have at least 4 questions left. Let me put this down a bit. What is one piece of advice you could give someone starting bodybuilding?
I would say look on YouTube for channels that actually like give you good information that's based on research, I would say. So
Don't chase dopamine, in other words.
Exactly.
Like actually chase information.
Exactly. Find stuff that's backed up by research, and find someone who's more experienced in the gym than you, who's been doing it for a while and has results. And then start doing like basically what they do, you know? Find a split that works for you. Find exercises that feels good for you, but still backed by research or that you know are solid. And then just start eating well, I guess. So, yeah, that's all there really is to it.
And eating well?
Eating well is in like
Specify
health, like balanced diet, vegetables, all that stuff. And then nice lot of protein. Nice, like a good amount of protein. Calculate how much protein you need, how many calories you need, and stick to that.
Yeah. My advice for when it comes to like food is something I do, because obviously it's very hard to track your food every day. And I find that as well. It's extremely, especially when you're bulking because you're eating so much.
Yeah.
If I end up tracking everything I make, I'm going to spend the entire day in the kitchen. I'm not going to get anything else done.
Entire day on your phone putting it in.
Exactly. Like half the time cooking, and then the other half the time tracking, and then a quarter of the time eating.
Yeah.
So what I do is I will figure out what I need to do, figure out my calories, and then I'll play around with the meals until I hit them and I like the meals. And then I'll stop tracking but just do the same thing.
That is a good idea.
And I've eaten and you can slightly change the meals like a little bit, as long as they're kind of the same amount with the same sort of vibe to them, then that's fine. Because I haven't tracked my calories in a while, and I've been eating the same kind of my like full day of eating has been almost identical with slight little changes to certain meals for the past like at least 4 months. Like I've been eating the same for 4 months, and like it sounds like a long time, and it sounds like you get tired of it, but your body just gets used to it.
Yeah.
Like when I change something, I find like, oh, it's a little bit harder to digest. My body's not used to it. But when you eat the same thing for a while, like your body just takes it down so easily. So being consistent with what you eat is actually really helpful.
It's true. I find there is a point.
As long as you can find ways, especially when it comes to like chicken or egg or stuff like that, change the way you flavor it. Don't change the meal itself.
That's true. Because the flavors you can definitely get tired of. Flavors you can definitely get tired
especially the spicy cooked chicken with.
Yeah.
Like I do that. Like I'll cook chicken and then like it'll start getting annoying. Instead of changing the meal, don't change the meal, change the spice. It'll make it taste like a different meal, and then you'll find yourself just much easier just sticking to the same things. You don't have to worry about tracking and all that nonsense. But like then again, like sometimes your body just does want something different.
Yeah.
And it's normal.
Definitely.
But yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me actually answer the question myself. What is one piece of advice I would give to someone starting bodybuilding? So, advice for starting bodybuilding, I would say from a training perspective, watch, when it comes to like watching content to try sort of get something from it, is watch people like Arnold, maybe Sam Sulek, or I'm hesitant on that because he does a lot of like the half rep stuff, and I don't want to see like skinny guys doing like
half reps. Yeah.
because then like just abusing the half rep feature.
Yeah.
But there's science behind it. Like he
Yeah.
starts up with full, and then he does stretched to like tensing, and I do that myself. It really does work, but it's very kind of specific. So
Yeah.
but I'd recommend for beginners to watch. I mean, pretty much any fitness influencer, just watch them train, or even outside, like in the gym. Watch the people you can see like are experienced, and the people you want to like look like, for an example, that train well. Just watch them train, like not creepily, obviously. You don't
I don't.
but like just watch them in a way and kind of copy them. Not like directly. Don't be like, okay, someone's doing lateral raises and you stand right next to them and do the exact same thing, and then start doing overhead press. Do you sit right next to them and do
like
the same
know
thing?
what
Don't
they're
be-
doing.
Yeah, have some social etiquette here. But besides that, just sort of try and look at the way the people who are more experienced use their form. And the biggest thing with exercises is don't try and improve with your own knowledge when you're starting out. Like, don't try, because like I would say, like for like our stage, yeah, we could do that with our own knowledge. We can create our own stuff. That's fine, because we've got mind muscle connection. We know how things work. We know what's going to damage the joints, what's not going to damage the joints. We know what's going to squeeze the muscle, because we've got mind muscle connection. We've got experience and all that kind of stuff. But to someone who's just starting out, to try and make up your own thing, I wouldn't recommend that. Unless you're making up a workout split, then you can do that. But for exercises themselves, go online, search for videos of, I mean, I used to do this. Go on Google, search certain exercise, and then preferably watch a YouTube video of someone doing it so you can see the form and try and copy that form like as closely as it is performed by the person who's teaching it as possible. And I mean, yeah, just try and copy the form of those kind of. Yeah. Back in a moment.
We just have to start wrapping up soon.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Gotta get there.
I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, I would say. So just in terms of training, copy the form of those who are experienced. I mean, I've personally had when people kind of, like the smaller guys, they'll look at me like doing something and they'll be like, oh. And then I can see like a minute later, they'll do the same thing,
yeah.
And it doesn't actually bother me. In fact, it's an ego booster, to be honest.
It is
like,
a bit, yeah.
They'll do it and then I'll be like, this guy's copying me. Like, you know? So
usually I'll try help them with their form to do that.
Yeah, so a lot of gym goers will be willing to help you with like form and stuff like that.
That's true as well.
They will be like a lot of new gym goers have an incorrect perspective of the attitude of the others around in terms of like wanting to help. Like a lot of people will be willing to help. Like if someone like new that's skinny comes up and like asks me like, hey, how do I like get the proper form on this exercise, and I know the exercise, I mean, which I most likely do, I've seen it a lot, then either I'll tell them to do different exercise because it's a bad exercise, or like I'll help them with form. And it's really like,
it's not a problem.
It's really not a problem.
Nice,
it's not too much of an inconvenience. Like I really do enjoy helping other people, and a lot of bodybuilders do like doing the same thing because we've been in the same position. All of us have been in the starting position. We've all been in your shoes, so it's very like relatable, and it's definitely kind of like it's not bad to go and ask someone who's more experienced for some form. They'll help you. I can almost, not fully, because there's some not too great people out there, but I can give you a semi guarantee that they'll be willing to help.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, so should we wrap it up there, or do you want to do one more? Or?
What's the next question? We'll do a quick.
The next question.
Last question.
There's 2 more questions, but there's 3. Whatever. But there is 2 more. Yeah. Do you have any goals in mind with training at the moment? And what does the future of training look like for you? So where do you want to end up in the future? With
okay, well, I feel like this has been sort of talked about this a little bit. This is
bit.
so I would say for now I'm just trying to push the physique and strength sort of simultaneously as far as they can go, because it's nice to do while you're young. And then after that, I'm gonna I plan to transition into like running or something fitness related.
Yeah.
So that I can
Get fit.
Yeah, get fit, and that's something that will last me, quite a long time, because you can't really train super hard when you get into like your 40s and 50s.
Yeah,
but you can still
train
run, like you can still do crazy runs and all that kind of stuff quite well, but you can't really go deadlift like.
Bro, I've seen a guy
hours,
at gym. Oh my word! He told me he was 50. I didn't believe him. I thought he was 30.
Really?
Man was jacked. He was like more jacked than me. He was like me, but he was shredded.
Yo.
And like, okay, maybe he wasn't as big as me, but like he must be like 10% body fat. Like almost as much muscle mass as me, and he's 50 years old. And I'm like, again, I don't know if he's taking steroids.
Yeah,
I don't think he
true.
is, but like
That's
again,
true.
there is the chance
know.
that he is. You never know. But like,
know.
I mean, it's jolly impressive, like how that guy still trains and he can still achieve that at his age. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just makes you think, like, after you see those kind of guys, makes you think, like, what does happen if I keep going for another 2 years? Like, it's weird to think that I've only trained 2 years. Like, a lot of guys online, like, those social media creators, when they try to be like Alex Eubank,
Yeah.
And then they'll be training for, like, 2 years, and they're, like, kind of, like, got a little bit of muscle, but mainly just abs.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm like... I've been training for 2 years and look like this. Like, imagine if I trained for another 2.
Exactly.
Like, what would happen then?
You'd be like close to my age, and then
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like weird to
You'll be
think because like
huge.
if I stay as consistent as I have been, and like I've phenomenal amount of progress for the amount of time I've been weightlifting for. Like, if I stuck to it and like double the amount I trained,
I think your body composition would change a lot, because I think that's the main thing that happens. Is
bone structure would just adapt.
And like you get leaner without even changing your diet much. You would sort of put on muscle in areas that you didn't have muscle before, things like that.
Yeah.
Like muscle distribution and all that.
Yeah, 100%. There's one more question. Shall we get into that question? And then we'll give it a wrap it up after that, shall we? Just keep an eye on that screen while I keep an eye on this one, just to make sure it doesn't blank out again. Stupid camera battery. I'll get it. The replacement's actually coming on Monday, which is day after tomorrow in the time of recording. So next podcast, which will be next week, hopefully, then we won't have this problem.
Great.
And also, guys, let me know if you... Actually, I'll go into this after we finish. Okay, if you were... Oh, yeah, this is actually a very good question. If you were in my shoes and you were hosting this podcast, what questions would you have asked yourself?
Ooh, I feel like a lot of similar questions to what you've asked. I think, definitely. I might have asked more opinions on, like...
I see.
Things.
Opinionated
things. Might be a bit like that, maybe. I don't know. I like to poke around people's opinions, But no, very, very informative questions, definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
Yo.
I can't wait to see where you go with the podcast.
Yeah, I can't wait to see myself. Like, it just depends on what does well and what the feedback is. Yeah. Obviously, I won't let other people's opinion affect me personally, but like, I'll let the other people's opinion.
Don't take it personal.
I won't take it personal, but what I'm saying is that if you I'll take some constructive criticism. If I realize you guys don't enjoy the interviews with certain people, I'll realize what to stay away from, and it might change. You never know. I might have my goal in mind. I mean, where I'm thinking it's going to go is I interview like a whole bunch of gym guys and just fitness podcasts in general. But depending on feedback, you never know where it could go. Like
Yeah.
a video of something else random could do really well. Then I'd end
Yeah.
up just interviewing, who knows, CrossFitters.
Ooh.
Okay, probably not. But in fact, I might actually do that. I have a brother-in-law who does CrossFit, and so if you guys find that would find that interesting, just let me know in the comments down below.
Gym bro,
So yeah, let me know your feedback in the comments. If we should have Joe on again, and in the future, if we have multiple people on, if we should have Joe as a lot of a co-host, I feel like that would be pretty epic.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Maybe.
epic, yeah. One day when it starts to pop off a bit more and I actually get some money from it. Yeah. Can't really afford it right now, but yeah. Oh, wait. So, I mean, yeah, bro, do you mind if I you want to drop your socials or anything? I mean, I'm saying if I should put it in the description. Yeah, no?
Got all these stalkers coming after me.
Stalkers. I mean, optional.
We can see. We'll see. They'll find out.
Well, yeah. You guys will have to find out. Go scroll down past the subscribe button. Sorry, that's so cringy. Mind my cringe. And also the like button, you're going to scroll past that.
You'll never find it.
If Joe's socials are there, they're there. You can check them out and give him some support if they are there. If they're not there, he can remain mysterious. But otherwise, my socials will be in the description. Or my Instagram will be down there.
That's good content on Instagram, by the way.
Yeah, I got some decent
Quality
content on Instagram. I don't post as often as I used to, but I got some good reels going up every now and then. So mostly motivational, but sometimes just entertaining. So yeah, please like the video. You've made it. How long have you watched for? You've watched for 1 hour and 53 minutes, I think that is. I can't really see. It's very far away. But if you watch that long, you clearly like the podcast, so you should like the podcast. Does it make sense? Yeah. And subscribe for more. I am planning on doing this on a weekly basis. If that doesn't happen, it's because I can't find guests that are willing, or it's because of equipment issues.
Yeah.
So as long as I have control over everything, I'll be doing episodes once a week. And so we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comments what you found was your favorite part of the interview, what you got value from, and what was entertaining, so I know what to take away from this interview and to bring into others to make it better for you guys to experience.
Also, thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Give us your answers to the questions that I asked, and give your opinions, and maybe that could be a discussion where me and Joe could sit down and react to the comments of this video. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening to episode 1 of the King of the Jungle podcast. And we'll see you guys in episode 2. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, Joe. Have a good one, buddy.
Cheers, Kathan. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.